bro, you look bigger than I thought. Even like, whoa, I'm like, holy smokes.
Thanks, man. It's probably
Seriously.
just a good angle.
No, no, bro. What are you weighing right now?
It's 235 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm on the climb
That's
right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the goal?
The goal is like 280, man. I was just cutting down, so I was down to about 220, probably like 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
Wow.
I just started reversing out of that, and yeah, I'm sitting at 235 now.
Mm,
So the immediate goal is 250, which
mm,
probably I could probably hit by August, mid-August,
mm,
if not like the beginning of August, and then once I hit 250, it should be a little bit of a harder climb from there.
mm.
I'd love to get to 280 though. My heaviest ever is only 253, uh,
Wow.
because I was focusing on the weight cap for classic physique, which was 212.
Mm,
And so I never really let my weight get up too high. I mean, 250 is pretty high for my height, but
mm,
I was really, really like conscious of not letting my weight get up too high, which I didn't really enjoy because it kind of felt like I was stagnating my progress,
mm,
trying to stay under a cap and, not really letting my body grow. And then, I just started eating, for a few days, and I'm not eating anything crazy. Like, I've had a couple things here and there, but it's not like I'm binging or anything like that. And
mm.
yeah, I'm up like 15 pounds in 4 days.
Wow. Wow. Tell me a little bit about your like current split right now, like in terms of, are you training twice, hitting the body parts twice a week? Are you taking how many days off? Give us some backstory.
Yeah, so for the most part, I'm 3 on 1 off.
Mm,
So like today I'm doing arms. Tomorrow I just changed it up. So I think I have chest and delts tomorrow. And then I have back, hams, and glutes.
mm,
And then I'll take a rest day, and then I'll do chest and tries, back and bis, and then legs again.
mm. And how many total working sets would you do per body part?
It depends, but typically I'm doing about 2 working sets per exercise.
Mm,
I do a lot of drop sets though, so I'll do typically like one good working set, and then my next working set leads into like 1 or 2 drop sets, which I would
mm,
consider one working set as well.
mm,
So typically two working sets per exercise. Unless you're in an isolation movement, I'll probably do 3 working sets for that because I'm not. It's not a high stress compound movement, so I'll typically do like 3 working sets for isolation movements.
mm,
And most workouts are about two heavy compound movements. So like chest, for example, I'll do like a bench press and an incline dumbbell press.
mm,
Um, and then I'll go into like a machine press. I'll do my flies and stuff like that, and that's where I typically do like 3 working sets.
mm,
So I would say anywhere between five, depending on the day, 5 to 7 exercises, and
mm,
then looking at 1 to 2 hard working sets per exercise, up to 3 maybe.
mm. So like total, like roughly like 15 sets
Yeah,
total.
yeah, give or take.
Have you played around with that? Like, is that like the sweet spot for you, like over time? Like, or do you kind of fluctuate?
Dude, I love volume training. Like that's
Mm,
that's just I come from a sports background, so I have a hard time if like there's a lot of people who train, whether bodybuilders, powerlifters, weightlifters, whatever they are,
mm,
and they take a lot of rests, and they
mm,
they take like a 2 3 minute rest.
mm,
My rest periods are like 45 seconds, maybe to a
mm,
minute. So
mm,
I make sure I'm ready to go. Like I don't just get into a set if I'm not ready, if I'm still kind of heavy breathing.
mm,
Um, yeah, for me that's what works best. I like to
mm,
keep the blood going. I like to breathe heavy. And I miss sports a lot. So like I like to try and emulate that style of training a little bit. That's actually why I started doing drop sets, because I wanted to emulate my hockey training, like my soccer training, where you're like go 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 all the time, and it's all hit like high intensity interval training.
mm,
So I kind of wanted to emulate that as best that I could.
Mm,
Within the respect of bodybuilding, like you still have to have rest, unfortunately, and you still have to be able to recover to be able to push your next set hard. And but yeah, just for me, that's what works. You know, everyone's different, and I just like to train hard, heavy, and fast.
mm. There's a lot of talk right now about training the body part twice a week, right? What are
Yep.
your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you can recover, that's really what's most important. Like for the most part, like I'm pretty gassed. I'm pretty gassed the next day after training, especially like a back and a leg day.
Mm,
But my recovery is very good. Like I sleep twice a day. Like I just woke up from a nap now, basically.
mm, mm,
I sleep like a baby at night. You know, I prioritize my recovery. I prioritize my rest. And the food intake is typically the most important. You have to make sure you're eating enough. I know a lot of guys undereat, which means they're under recovering. A lot of guys undersleep. So for a lot of people, I would say it's not advantageous unless you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's for recovery. But as long as you can make sure you recover, then
mm,
I found personally my back had its best growth when I was hitting it twice within that six day period.
mm. What's your kind of when it comes to the sleep? Are you sleeping 8 hours and then napping for like 30 minutes? What's that look like?
At night I'm typically like my schedule typically is like 10:30 to 5:30. So it's
Mm,
at 7 hours. I find
mm,
seven hours is a sweet spot for me.
mm,
I like to wake up early. I like to go to bed early. On the high end, yeah, I'll get 8 hours. I really try not to sleep more than that, to be honest, because I typically
mm,
wake up even more tired.
mm,
So 7 to 8 hours is perfect for me. If I'm in deep in prep, 5 to 6 typically hits the spot
mm,
because my food intake's not that high, so I don't really need to sleep that long.
mm,
But my naps are like, yeah, they're like anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. But like most of the time, I'm not in a complete dead sleep for 2 hours. Like I'm kind of just resting my eyes.
mm,
Um, yeah, it's I call it like a wee nap because it's not like a full on like out
mm.
cold for 2 hours. I just kind of lay there. I rest my eyes. Sometimes I do. I'm out for quite a bit, but for the most part, I'm just laying there and resting my eyes and just resting my
Mm.
body.
Is this like a pre-lift kind of nap, like the kind of, or is this post-lift? Like, give us some
It,
insight.
it's pre-lift, man, because like because I am up early and I'm doing cardio every morning.
Mm,
No matter what phase I'm in, I really do my best to wake up early, go to the gym early. I come home, I eat, I do my work. I eat again. I really try and get in another cardio session, even if it's just steps.
mm,
And then typically by like 1 or 2 o'clock, dude, like I have to lay down. Like
mm,
my body won't want to do anything else, and my eyes are closing. So
mm,
it's typically my body telling me I have to go lay down,
mm,
and so I'll go sleep for lay down, sleep for yeah an hour and a half, and then I wake up, and then it's weird because as soon as I get up, like I'm wide awake 100%. Like it's as if
mm,
I wasn't tired at all. I get my pre-meal in, I'm ready to go.
mm. What do you find hard about what you're doing right now? Like for me, for example, I have a hard time taking a day off. Like I just mentally, I feel like I can't do. What's the hardest part of what you're doing?
Probably that too, man. Like I love to train. Like so
Mm,
so when I turned pro training 7 days a week. And to
wow.
be honest, I was doing 2 days for a few of those days. So I was getting in at least 10 workouts a week, with no rest days. The only time I'd rest. I'm not saying this is the best thing to do. It was something that was actually holding me back from growing, but that is one of the hardest parts of bodybuilding. And like I love going to the gym twice a day. Like that's
Mm,
my favorite thing to do. To be honest, if I could, and I still think about it some days, but if I could, I would train early again. Like so, what I used to do is I would train around 11 and
mm,
have 1 or 2 meals, train around 11, and then go home, eat, sleep, and then go back for like 7 or 8 o'clock
mm,
and train again. And I would just do doubles. And to me, that was the most fun I've ever had training.
mm,
That was I was in school though, so this was like it was just for fun. Like I was just training for fun.
mm,
I think I might have been doing some shows at the time, but like it wasn't a career by any stretch. It wasn't, that now it is my career and it's my job. So I kind of have to take out the fun aspect as much fun as it is, and I still have a blast.
mm.
I don't get to do necessarily what I want to do as much as I have to do. Like I have to do what I have to do. You know what I mean?
Mm. When you say twice a day, just for the people to clarify, do you mean like you're training weights twice a day? Or you're doing cardio in the morning and then weights? Like what does that mean twice a day?
So right now,
Mm,
cardio, abs, stretching, that's my
mm,
morning.
mm,
And then I'll train weights at night. At the
mm,
time, I was training balls out in the morning and the night. And I would do like chest in the morning, back at night. And then the next day I would do arms in the morning, legs at night. And then I would do shoulders in the morning and then I would do back at night. Like I would basically just go through my 5 or 6 day split. And if it happened that, I hit two things pretty close together, as long
mm,
as I was recovered, like I would just still hit them. But to be honest, I was never really fully recovered. Like at that point in my time, I would often go into pretty much every training session sore.
mm,
Whereas now at this point in my career, thank God, it's ironic because I'm older now, so you'd think I'd be a little more beaten up, but I'm pretty much fresh for every session I go into. But it is because I prioritize the recovery so much,
mm,
which is hard, man. Because like I said, I just love to train, and like
mm,
I love to train hard. I love to train as much as I can, and like when I played soccer, and hockey, but like soccer especially, like I would go to the soccer field for like 4 hours a day, and I
mm,
would just maybe I'd go twice a day because
mm,
you could there was no. I don't need to recover. I didn't need to eat anything. I would play video games in between, and I would just
mm,
go and do whatever I wanted. I'd go practice corner kicks. I'd practice headers. I'd practice my tricks. I'd practice my dribbling and
mm,
my free kicks. And there was just an endless amount of things I could go do, and I love doing it. Like if I enjoy playing the sport, and in this case, it's bodybuilding. If I enjoy it, I want more time doing it. But that's one of the hardest aspects of bodybuilding is you can only be in the gym for so long. Typically, and I only train like 50 minutes at a time. So like
mm,
max 75 minutes on a leg day, maybe 80 minutes. But like I'm only getting an hour of training a day, and then I
mm,
have to take a rest day every 4 days, right? So
mm,
that to me is one of the hardest parts.
mm. So, do you have a philosophy of somebody that you're following? Like this, from this two working sets, it's similar, sounds similar to like the Mike Metzer. Obviously, he just does one, but I mean, how are you coming up with this two sets, like working sets? Give me some insight on
I've done everything possible. Like I'm so the type of person that I am is I like to try different things.
that.
Like even different sports. I've tried every sport that you could possibly name.
Mm,
So for training, I've tried different things. I've tried three working sets. I've tried four working sets. I've tried, doubling up muscles, and I've done the push pull legs where you do like a chest try shoulder workout all in one, and
mm,
back and delts and this and that, and hamstrings and pull and biceps. And
mm,
I just found this is what works for me. I feel like I only have gas for two working sets. It allows me to go balls out for both those working sets.
mm,
But then what I did to integrate my own style, like my own preference, is the drop sets. And obviously that's not new, like that's not revolutionary, but I feel like in a lot of like in the new age of bodybuilding, we seem to have gotten away from stuff like that, like the intensifiers, because there's this whole new age ideology on fatigue management, and you can't go too hard, and you got to rest more, and I just that's not my philosophy. My philosophy is train as hard as you can. And for me, I like to push those working sets because I believe, like, an example, like, let's say I'm doing a bench press, right? And I can only bench press three plates for 10 reps. But that doesn't mean I'm out of gas completely. Like,
mm,
I might still be able to push 275. I might still be able to push 225,
mm,
right? And so there's still a little bit of gas left in the pecs, but you're ending at 315 for 10 because you're like, well, that's all I can do at 315, which is fair. Like that's all you can get. Like that's all that you have in your strength. That's all that you have in your pecs. But for me, I feel like I could do a little bit more.
mm,
And so yeah, I feel like the two working sets is um it's just what works best for me. I mean, listen, I've watched a lot of podcasts. I follow all the pro bodybuilders. I look at what they do. I've been in this industry for 13, 14 years now. And I've watched, I'm sure you have too, and I've watched so many different ideologies come and go, and training methods come and go. And, the new thing is the best thing until it's not. And so for me, I just kind of got away from the trends.
mm,
and just did what I felt worked for me. And listen, I've tried everything possible. Like I said, I did the 2 a days, I did the 7 day straight. I've done the double up, the muscle group. I've done everything that I could, and that's not to say in a year from now my training might not like is going to be the same. It might be different a year from now. I might try something else. I might see someone do something else and try it for myself because you never know until you try it, right?
mm. Give us some insight around your pre-workout nutrition, what that looks like, and your post-workout. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Right now, so I used to do. So this is another thing. Like I was so stuck in my ways for so long. I used to do cream of rice
Mm,
with protein, nut butter, banana, and that was just always my pre-workout meal. And I just always looked at it as like a pre-workout meal. This is what I eat to train, and I thought that was the best. It's easy to digest, and it goes down easy. But I found myself kind of feeling a little heavy in my training.
mm,
Um, so I have a hiatal hernia, so like I don't digest food very quickly, and especially like wheys and stuff, and just certain food, like even higher fats. Like I just don't really digest things very quickly.
mm,
So one day I just wanted to try something else, and I started doing fish, white fish, so
mm,
tilapia,
mm,
and rice. And
mm,
for me, that has been the best pre-workout meal possible because for two reasons. One, it digests so quickly, it's so light on my stomach, and
mm,
yet it's so calorie dense. Like the rice is so calorie dense.
mm,
If you're in the off season, you can add some soy sauce. You get a little more, well, a lot more sodium. A little more carbs. But for me, it goes down so easily for me. And like I said, I can get a lot more calories that way without having to pump so much volume of food. Like
mm,
that meal, I can crush in not even 5 minutes if I really wanted. If I wanted to go down in 5 minutes, it's going down. I walk in the gym empty stomach. I feel light in my stomach, and for me, that's a big thing because like I said, like I'm always bloated, like I'm always digesting food, and and then you add in your pre-workout drink, and I would have like a pump pre-workout, a stim pre-workout. I would do my creatine, I do my glutamine,
mm,
I would do my carb powder. I would do like citrulline. I would do everything possible. I'd pump my pre-workout shake with everything, and then I
mm,
would go train, and I'm burping this up my whole training session. So I revamped my pre-workout meal to make it for me lighter and still get the calories in.
mm,
And then post-workout is typically where I do my higher fat meal. So, most of the time it'll be like a chicken thigh meal, chicken thigh and rice, or chicken thigh and potato, or, in this case today, I'm probably going to do salmon and rice.
mm,
So yeah, I typically do my higher fats post-training with my carbs, obviously.
mm,
But if I'm in contest prep, like it depends, man. I typically do most of my carbs pre-training, and because I train in the evening, I'll typically do like no carbs at night.
mm,
Um, but yeah, that works for me because again, like my stomach's a little different than most people, so
mm,
I've had to test some different things and revamp some things and challenge myself at the same time because I am someone who really loves my routine. Like I'm an extremely routine individual, and so it's hard to kind of change things up, especially when you're going into a training session. And I
mm,
treat every training session like it's the last training session.
mm,
And so I don't like to change things up at all, let alone change things up, 40 minutes before I go in and train. But I did it, it worked. And even, that's something I'll do for clients as well. If they also don't love or don't digest cream of rice very well, or they don't do well with fats pre-training, which some people do, some people don't. And it's so individual dependent.
mm. What are your thoughts about protein powder? I know we sent you some Hydro Pure. I don't know if you had a chance to try it.
Oh yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome. It's chocolate banana,
Oh,
which are my two favorite flavors. If it's not chocolate peanut butter, it's chocolate banana.
nice.
Um, yeah, listen, I go both ways with whey. I use it all the time, so I'm definitely not against it.
Mm,
If I was pre-contest, it might be something I cut out in the last 2 weeks or something,
mm,
just for the sweeteners. I mean, there's a lot of studies that say it's good on the gut. There's a lot of studies that support protein powder. It just depends on. It'll more so depend on like how strong the sweeteners are and the ingredients put into it. But like I eat it with my creamy every night, the
mm,
chocolate banana, and
mm,
um, it's really good. I use whey all the time, like especially my cream of rice. I'll put a scoop in,
mm.
and then I'll use a scoop and a half for my creamy at night.
Mm. Yeah, I have a very sensitive stomach too, and I find the HydroPure is just for my stomach. It's like I
Yeah.
got no problems. I got no problems.
I've had an issue, and I will tell you, like I've had issues with other protein powders to the point where like I just had to stop taking them.
Mm.
So I am very specific with the protein powder that I use, but the Hydro Pure has been great.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, I sent you the chocolate banana because it's one of my favorites, and
Yeah,
honestly, like I think it's kind of like one of the ones where people forget about it, and then I send
yeah,
it out, and people are like, "Oh shit! Like this is
it's
like."
underrated, underrated for
Yeah,
yeah,
underrated for sure. That was the word I
yeah,
was looking for. Obviously, I know that the men's physique has changed. I think it was the weight class was changed a little bit, right?
yeah.
There was a shift in the weight class. What are your thoughts about that?
For men's physique,
hmm There was
uh,
the weight cap is gone, right? What's the biggest difference now heading into that?
yeah, I think that's fine. Because the issue was the guys were looking just as big as classic guys.
Mm,
Um, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's a look, right? Like I think the same thing with classic too. I'm fine with weight caps and classic.
mm,
Um, but men's physique, I'm indifferent because I think that, at the end of the day, it's a look that you're chasing.
mm,
But all it's gonna do is support guys not training legs even more. Like, listen, I know men's physique guys do train legs, and there are some that don't, right?
mm,
But it's just gonna support less leg training because they're gonna say, why would I train? Why would I get my legs big and fill out the weight cap even more when I could get my upper bigger
mm,
and maybe create more of the men's physique taper, right?
mm,
So, I'm indifferent about it. I've men's physique pros as well, so they have to adhere to the weight cap, but um, for the most part, as long as they stay within that size range, it should not be an issue. I've never had an issue with a weight cap in terms of my clients. I've never missed weight. I've never had a client miss weight. So for me, it's not really much of an issue. But um, and listen, at the end of the day, I see a lot of the categories as developmental categories. So like it's a hierarchy in a way where like men's physique develops into classic physique develops into open bodybuilding or 212, then open bodybuilding, right? So in a way it's great because if you're a men's physique guy who's pushing that weight cap and you can't make weight, for example, it's like, okay, brother, well, it's time for classic. And for me, that's part of the fun. Part of the fun is not staying where you are and staying comfortable where you are. Part of the fun is growing
mm,
and pushing yourself past those limits and getting a little uncomfortable. And for me, that's what I'm doing now. I'm switching to open, and it's uncomfortable, it's scary, but it's something new, and for me, it's exciting, right?
mm. Give us some insight about the next, like, say, from now until, say, middle of next year. Like, what's your schedule like? You got any shows coming up? What's the game plan?
I don't think I have any shows coming up from now until then. To be honest, I have a hernia consultation August 12th.
Mm,
So in a perfect world, I'm gonna go get my hernia taken out.
mm,
That would be perfect because I'm praying that if I get it taken out, it'll change my quality of life because I literally like if I eat something, I'm bloated immediately. And
mm,
I read into it a lot more. I didn't realize the symptoms that I've been experiencing my whole life were all related to the hernia. Like I just thought they were just things I was dealing with, and then you see professionals and they're like, no, like this is all related, and it's a wealth of things that I experienced. But so for me, if I can get that taken out, I think my growth will, like skyrocket exponentially, because my body's not digesting food, it's not absorbing nutrients, it's not partitioning the nutrients the same way that it would a normal person.
mm,
Um, an example, like in contest prep, I had zero appetite.
mm,
I didn't take any GLPs. I can't. If I do, I will literally probably just throw up my food because I already
mm,
feel that way anyways.
mm,
Um, and so for me, I'm like, okay, if I can get my hernia taken out and I can get my appetite like back up to where it's supposed to be, my body's going to absorb the food that I'm eating. Then I believe that I can put on a lot more weight that way and a lot more muscle.
mm,
So in a perfect world, I'll get my hernia taken out by the end of the year, and then 2027 would be a full off season, and then 2028 would be my open debut, whether that's Toronto in June or Detroit in July, because I know they're moving the show,
mm,
and then probably everything in between that too. So that'd be the perfect world for me. Is I get my hernia taken out, and then
mm,
I take the next year off, and then I compete in 2028.
mm. That's interesting. As far as you talk a little bit quite a bit about the recovery aspect of things. Is there any other tips?
One of the game changing things that I did was I bought a trigger point ball,
Mm,
and it's like about that big. It's not a lacrosse ball; it's a lot bigger.
mm,
Dude, I was on that thing for an hour a day,
mm,
every morning, and it was the best thing for my whole body, my physique, my inflammation, um, because my everything was all like over time, your hips are all jacked up, your back's all jacked up, your
mm,
traps, your lats, everything.
mm,
And for me, that was a game changer. I would use a trigger point ball every day. I still do. I still use it. I use it maybe 20 minutes now instead of an hour, but I was getting a little overzealous with it because it was working so well.
mm,
But I've told all my clients like this is something that you need. It's not just recovery; it's helping you with your posing as well.
mm,
As you train and you get all tight and stiff, things just don't open up the same way. You aren't able to hit your poses the same way.
mm,
Men's physique, same thing. You want your lats to be open. You need to make sure like you're using some form of foam rolling or trigger point. I do get treatment very, very regularly,
mm,
especially in prep. I'm getting treatment once or twice a week,
mm,
which is obviously a huge luxury. Not everyone has that time for one or can afford to do that. But if you can go even twice a month, I think that would be very advantageous for your recovery.
mm,
And then obviously, take naps, sleep good, and
mm.
just work for me.
What are your thoughts about like a lot of people are doing ice baths, sauna, compression boots. Do you dabble in any of that?
Sauna, I like a lot. Like so when I get really like post show and I put on a lot of weight,
Mm,
my back gets really really stiff, especially rolling out of bed. Like I don't know if it's like an age thing or just the amount of size that you're carrying, but my back would just be killing me. I go in the sauna for 20 minutes, and one, it's great for your breathing. I think that's
mm,
that's a huge benefit. But two, it's so good for releasing inflammation, releasing excess water.
mm,
I've never really got into the cold plunges. I'm personally, I don't really think I see the application for bodybuilding.
mm,
I do see some benefits, like wakes up the nervous system, which can then maybe help with your recovery a little bit, and if you want a little boost in the morning. But I don't know. I've never really got into it. I did try cold showers for a little bit, but
mm,
I just didn't. I would feel like I had energy, like it would give me a boost of energy. But in terms of recovery, I don't know if I necessarily see the application. Maybe I just don't like it because it's cold, whereas
mm,
I like the sauna because it's hot and comfortable.
mm,
But yeah, sauna for sure. If you have access to a sauna, I would say absolutely. But I don't know enough about the cold plunge.
mm. What's your kind of like call it like cheat meal or meal that you would eat that's maybe not, so clean? Like do you have a meal that's kind of like your go-to when you're feeling like maybe a little, deflated or you just want something, you're craving something?
It depends, but I got really into Five Guys burger and fries.
Mm, mm,
Pancake chocolate chip pancakes.
mm.
I really really like chocolate. I just had some earlier. I really like chocolate chip pancakes. Um,
Well, just let me stop you there because I go to Five Guys. When you go to Five Guys, like what's this order look like? I'm assuming it's not just a burger and fries.
well, because I've only ever really had it in prep, so I never could really like
Mm,
go balls out and really enjoy
mm,
myself. But
mm,
I would do like a double bacon burger, large fries. Now I'll probably add in a shake because those shakes look really good. I haven't had the chance to eat it yet, but
mm,
I will tell you, I had a pretty good cheat meal the other day. It wasn't the best quality in terms of like restaurant choice, but I did get some McDonald's, and I
mm,
had I think it was two quarter pounders, two
mm,
fries, two baked pies, strawberry baked pies,
mm,
two McFlurries, and then we have a dessert place here, dude. It was like 5,000 calories, and I and
mm.
I and I woke up tighter the next day.
Wow.
And then I grabbed this cookie skillet, chocolate. It was a Ferrero Rocher cookie skillet from this dessert spot locally.
Mm,
It was easily over 5,000 calories, and dude, I woke up tighter the next morning, and I'm like, I think I might have like hit the jackpot with this. I think I might have got the secret, the secret
mm.
sauce. So
Oh.
Yeah.
So I know you do some training. I don't know. We haven't spoke about it, but do you train men and women, or just men, or what's the?
Dude, like I try. Okay, so yeah, I'm a coach. Like I coach online,
Mm,
full time. That's what I do for work outside of just bodybuilding.
mm,
For the most part, I just coach men, and I only
mm,
want to coach men.
mm,
I do have a handful of female clients still. I have coached women in the past, like prime, like just as much as men. I've done bikini, wellness. I still do wellness a little bit.
mm,
Figure. I do women's physique a little bit. I love women's physique. Women's bodybuilding I've done. I've won at nationals. I won at like the Olympia amateur. I even did one fit model. Um, but dude, I've transitioned to men.
mm,
I'm very good at working with men. I'm a man's man. Like the way that I communicate,
mm.
the way that I want to communicate, the way that I want to coach, it's better suited for men. And not only that, but I'm better at coaching men. And like,
And I just want to say one thing. I mean, let's just cut the bullshit. We both know that women in competitive women are absolutely can be a lot at times, right?
yeah,
Like, let's
yeah,
just not even.
yeah, yeah,
I've been
yeah,
doing this. I've been in this industry.
yeah.
So yeah.
They're not
So
as
I
easy to work with. Like I'll say it that way.
yeah.
For me, listen, there's
Yeah,
guys out there
but
who are
that was a
great.
nice way. That was a nice roundabout, like
Problematic.
very, a very ethical way of saying it. Yes, I
My clients
appreciate
are
it.
watching, so I'm a little more
Yeah,
diplomatic, but um,
yeah,
they're tougher for me to work with. And like,
yes.
and I'll just listen. I'll just be completely honest. Like,
Mm, mm,
I'm not into the categories. Like, I'm not
mm,
passionate about bikini. I don't care
mm,
about bikini. I don't care about fit model. I don't even really care about wellness. All that. I've told my wellness girls like, I don't really care about the category all that much. But I
mm,
will coach you, and I'll coach you with your best physique if you want me to coach you. If you
mm,
want me as a coach, that's one thing. If you're looking for a passionate wellness bikini, whatever, don't work with me. I tell them that. I tell them don't work with me if you want someone who's passionate about your category. I've turned down many women for this reason. It's just not something that interests me. I don't listen. I'm never gonna go to a show and be like, hey guys, let's go watch the bikini category. I'm
mm,
gonna be honest with you, and that's no disrespect to them. Like they train hard, they look great.
mm,
Some of them look super crazy. They're all wacky, but like it's just not my thing. And probably the same reason like women probably don't. A lot of them don't watch men's physique or classic physique or bodybuilding. Like they just don't
mm,
care. And like
mm,
at 10 years I've been doing this, actually 12, 11 or 12 years I've been doing this. I
mm,
don't care about the women's categories. For me,
mm,
enough to take your money and be passionate and open your check-in and be excited.
mm,
For me, I like so I played, like I said, I played hockey and soccer my whole life.
mm,
Going to shows and being backstage with the guys reminds me of like our hockey tournaments and soccer tournaments. And it's just hanging out with the guys, and it's a guy's environment. It's a male environment, and for me, that's where I thrive. And I love the men's categories. I love working with guys, and for me, it's just what I'm best at. And I don't want to waste people's time or money or
mm,
my time or my energy doing something that I'm not passionate about and that I'm not my best at. And
mm,
like I don't even want to put people on stage if it's like not reflective of my best work. And
mm,
I don't feel like working with women will reflect my best work.
mm. That's honest. I appreciate that. So, is there anything that you wanted to talk about that maybe I didn't cover before we wrap up today?
Um, nothing that comes to mind. I mean, there were a few really good questions that we got. I can't maybe some like there were some questions about like what would I do differently
Mm,
and stuff like that. And so like
mm.
maybe I'll speak on that. Like if
Yeah,
I
do that. That would be great.
yeah, like if I could go back in time and restart my whole career, I think number one would be take the diet more seriously. That was something like I was a kid when I started. I started when I was 18, 19 years old. I did my first show at 19. I was in college, I was in university. So it's kind of like a dummy. Like I was just kind of like living that life and I was partying when I was like 19 to 21. I stopped partying a little bit around then, but I would still eat like a dummy, and I would just eat like frozen food, like easy to go foods. I wouldn't cook a lot of my food outside of contest prep, and like my off season, I wouldn't take them seriously. I would just eat whatever I wanted when I wanted, but then I'd go through these periods with my hernia where I couldn't eat anything, so then I would just eat complete shit food, like Wendy's and McDonald's all the time, and I would always eat fast food, or and it really hindered a lot of my growth, and it really hindered years of growth that I wish I could get back. And I wish I would do things differently with the diet, and just I wish I worked with my coach year round. I wish I worked with him in the off season instead of, like, again, just going off to do my own thing 10 weeks out being like, hey man, get me in shape. And it's like, dude, I'm 40, 50 pounds above what my stage weight needs to be. So I'm killing myself for 10 weeks, and I've
Mm,
really, really suffered. Well, I wouldn't call it suffering, but I really, really had a hard time with those preps.
mm,
Um, to the point where it would just gas me out completely, and then I would binge and then just go through this whole cycle again. I
mm,
did that for like 10 shows maybe, and that was like 6 years of my career that I can't get back. And I didn't really start taking this that seriously until after I turned pro. So
mm,
I'm like 26 years old, and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to take this seriously. I'm 32 now. It's like, man, I feel like I'm almost resetting now, because I've gathered everything that I did wrong in my 20s, which was training like a dummy, which, training every day, and not taking rest days, and training twice a day, which I wish I could do. I loved it. I don't necessarily regret it, but at the same time I do, because I'm like, I still hindered some growth. And I wish I took my sleep schedule more seriously. I was going to bed late, waking up late. Um, and I just wish I just had better guidance. I had a good coach at the time, but like, I just wish I could go back in time and coach myself in a way, and just be like, hey man, you need to take this seriously year round.